Hello everyone. Welcome to our weekly live stream where we discuss everything and anything that has anything to do with search engine optimization and optimizing for AI, however you can call it. There is GEO, AEO, what SEO for AI. By the way, I do have a Reddit subreddit that is all about SEO for AI. This is what it's called. So join us there as well. It's curating everything, every news, tools, all the updates from our LLM GEO world as well. So that's useful. One, I'm in Smarty. I have been in SEO for more than 20 years. I have seen it all. Now I'm the co-founder of my own agency, Smarty.marketing. So check that out. Today with me, and always April, our director of social. She will be asking additional questions, bringing up your questions or feedback if you have any. Today will be a quick one because I'm streaming from absolutely nowhere. I am in the middle of traveling, so I'm not sure if my connection will be good enough to hold on for all the 30 minutes that we usually do. So today, I'm hoping for about 20 minutes. We have a very important topic for sure, but not as vast as what we usually discuss. So I'm pretty sure we should be able to cover the specifics of it quicker than we usually do this for. I don't have any digest of news for you today because, again, I'm in the middle of traveling with a great view, by the way, here. So I will deliver everything that has been going on in SEO next week. So join us next Wednesday as well, 1 p.m. EST. We stream live stream on anything that has happened, and I mentioned all those news. What else? And smarty.com is where I announce topics for the week as well as give the link to join. These are pretty quick live streams, but they are very action-driven, actionable. We make sure to have something useful for you, not just noise and panic that is dominating our SEO industry these days. So today I'm talking about one very specific thing, that is your website about page. And it's interesting that it's more of a reminder for you than anything else. From experience, personal as well as with other businesses, about pages get outdated and useless too quickly. Businesses forget about those pages. They set them up and remember to check them out in 10 years. So this is your reminder to go check your about page, because it is important not just for your users, which of course is our main priority and what we are serving, but also SEO and GEO. About pages have become kind of part of SEO audits back when Google made their human raters guidelines available. And since then, in those guidelines, the human raters were invited to check out about pages of the websites they land on to make sure they are trustworthy. That is the same time when we got to know the EEAT signals that Google also mentions in those guidelines, and all of those have something to do with how trustworthy and authoritative a website is, and whether, if it's not, it doesn't deserve to be ranking in Google. I really don't think, at least there is no evidence that about page, however well you write it, can be the direct signal for Google. It is useful. It probably sends some good stuff to the algorithms, but I've never suggested that it is the most important SEO signal for sure. With LLMs, it's a little bit different. I really see ChatGPT and other LLMs going to official business pages, about pages to find out about the brand, report all those findings back to the user. We see a lot of about pages being cited in LLMs or retrieved and used for answers. So that has become a very important LLM optimization element. With that, it's more useful for people in the first place, but let's not forget that many people do not visit websites anymore. So what you lay out in your about page can be consumed by someone only after AI agents summarize that in the AI answer. So keep that in mind when writing your about pages. And what should be in your about page? Of course, the main rule, it should be for humans. Again, that hasn't changed. Many people will go to your about page to find you, to find press context, to find if you are trusted enough to deal with, to find contact information. Many people will do that. For LLMs, we just need to explain things a little bit more clear than you would do for actual human beings. We need to make sure that LLMs will pull or extract the most essential information from your about page and report it back in the good form to the user. So with that, that's why the about pages have become a little bit different in terms of best practices than in SEO days, when we were more when there were no one in between people and actual us, the businesses. Now there is that AI agent that will visit your page on behalf of your human customer and report back to that customer. And we want to make sure that they do a good job. How do we do that? First of all, and this is something that many people don't still do because many businesses messaging is whether too promotional, too vague, or both. In this case, in the LLM world, we need to be very clear and consistent. Start with the headline that talks exactly about your value proposition. What you do, how you do it better than anyone else, and for who you are doing it. Depending on your business model and value proposition, that could be different, but it should be very clear, factual, and non-promotional. LLMs don't trust loud headings. They don't take them and bring them back to your customers. They are looking for useful factual information, so you can start with that. Just tell them exactly what you are doing and what's your value proposition. Next, the very important point on your about page is actually your trust signals. However you can talk about them, all the factual milestones you can talk about. That could be your years in business, or how many, what date you were founded, your certifications, your awards, your recognitions, your trusted partners that are other entities or brands that you work with and you support one another, your very well not verified customers. Don't put just pictures there. There should be the name of the companies that you're working with, links to that company that can be verified. So as long as make it as trustworthy and factual as possible, with no loud statements like "we are the best in the United States." This will not do. You can say "we are US based, family owned, totally organic," or something like that. Those are facts, and those should be listed on your about page. Now, what else we can do for SEO and LLMs? Well, yes, list your human founders, your executives, your employees there as well. But also, let's talk about a quick note about schema, because this is probably the most misunderstood topic in our SEO GEO industry, because there are definitely two groups of our experts. One group will tell you that for LLM visibility, schema is all you need. That's basically you just put detailed schema on your website and you're good to go. LLMs will love you and cite you. Those are usually agencies that build schema for you, that they want to sell that to you. There is another group in our SEO industries that will tell you schema is absolutely useless. Just don't waste your time. I'm in the middle of those two groups. I don't believe schema is the most needle moving element on your website that will make all the difference suddenly that you put that in. From historically, we know that if it were that easy, everyone would have put the schema on their websites and everyone would be ranking. Unfortunately, visibility doesn't work like that. Schema is not the most impactful thing you can do for your website. But at the same time, schema is still, and also there is no evidence LLMs even pay attention to schema. There were like thousands of tests and experiments so far. They are all misleading. Many of them are confusing reasons with just co-occurrence or there is like no actual evidence or official confirmation from any known LLM that they even pay attention to schema or that it makes it easier for them to consume the website, understand it. Now, I do believe that schema is first will not hurt, which is better than most SEO tactics. Secondly, it's very easy to implement. If you go to our website, for example, smart.marketing, scroll down to the footer, you will see free registration, free money. Like you don't need anything to generate organization schema for yourself and put it on your about page. Takes 2 seconds to do. And third, it is still recommended by Google. At least the selected types of schema, and one of them is definitely organization schema. They recommend that. That's official recommendation from Google. The only platform that we are currently optimizing for, that is actually explicitly recommending schema for your website. So as search engine optimizers, for me at least, that is good enough. If Google recommends it, our actual job is recommended as well. When Google removes that part from the website, I will definitely not be recommending it, but again, it doesn't hurt. Now, is it the most important part in my audits or roadmaps? I create very actionable roadmaps that like 5-7 pages long, not something you usually see from other SEO experts. Usually that's like 30, 60 page long, flashy audits with lots of screenshots and stuff like this, which I even don't know how to implement in real life. I focus on very actionable, very short and concise roadmaps. I call them not even audits. Would I mention schema there? Probably not, because usually there are many more things to do on your website. Would I mention outdated and not detailed about page? Yes, and I'll probably have a quick line there saying something, you need to update this, remove this, and consider adding schema. That's it. That's how much space I will give schema in most cases. Not, of course, we are not talking about product schema, rich snippets, and all of that. For organization schema, I will briefly mention it in the best case scenario. Usually there are many more other problems to solve on the website, and I try to keep my roadmaps very focused and very needle moving. That's why I don't start with things like schema and stuff like that. So for your about page, adding schema is recommended just because it takes 2 seconds. If you're already there and you're updating other parts of your about page, you might as well add schema. That's probably how much attention I would give to that, even though if you part of our community of SEO industry, schema is probably all you've heard about optimization, anything. I'm not giving that as much attention, but if you're there, might as well add it. Do link to your about page from your main navigation for sure, not just the footer, because Google will rank it, Google will see it, LLMs will see it much easier as well. It should be ranking for your brand name. Try searching for your main brand name and see if you see your about page there. If not, I would definitely try to get it there. And the best way to do it, especially with the site links, is to add it to the main navigation. With that, I will share just a quick tip from our audience, which I think was very cool and useful. When optimizing, when writing your about page, ask LLMs what they think about your business, what they know about it, and how it compares to the competitors. And it will definitely be helpful in understanding what else you need to include in your about page, what you need to clarify, and all of that. Apart from your about page, the next step would be aligning all your other about pages everywhere else. That includes your directory listings, your social media listings, all of those. Once you create a good detailed, factual, and concise about page. After that, the next step would be updating everything else you have there in terms of outbound marketing. That's usually, especially social media channels that are also usually each of them is saying something else. And they all need to be very aligned and consistent with one another. So this is my today's reminder to you. I think very actionable and easy. If you are watching this video, I would encourage you to do something today before you forget about your about page and so actually updating everything that you have there, and then go from there. April, let's ask a couple of questions while I'll still have my connection. Was I interrupting, or was I fine? Okay.
I didn't.
I'm
I
not
didn't
sure.
notice anything.
I'm not sure
Seemed
about
good.
the connection here. I'm on hotspot, so it can end at any point.
So how long does it typically take for about page changes to start showing up in AI summaries?
You will be surprised, but it's very fast. I didn't really expect that to be that fast as well. I updated mine, and that's actually how I did it. I was asking ChatGPT what it knows about smart marketing and Smarty and all of that. I saw lots of outdated information about me personally, so I went ahead and updated my own websites. And within a week, I could see much better answers for the same prompt in ChatGPT and Gemini, both. So it pretty much takes just a week, but again, that's when LLMs are searching. For the training data, no one really knows when that is going to be updated, especially for Claude and ChatGPT. As far as I know, they do not announce officially every time they update their knowledge base. Than training data. But from observations and discussions online, it's about 6 months. So if someone is using ChatGPT and it's not searching, there are no live searches, you will probably be seeing outdated results for a few months until the training data is updated. But if they are searching and they are able to use your updated about page, that is already a great step, because that will become training data in a few months as well.
Great. So is it advisable to have like a bio page or a blurb for like every member of your team?
I would definitely do that, especially public facing people, because if they are everywhere, like April with me on these broadcasts, I'm obviously the most public facing in our company, and in many cases that person becomes so visible that LLMs know more about that person than the company. So I would definitely list them on the website, link to their LinkedIn's, use same as schema for Google to connect all the dots. Make sure their social media profiles mention the business they work for so that it's all connected. So in many cases, I would say yes. There are businesses with no public-facing people whatsoever. So there, I would just add a blurb about the founder or CEO, someone who is decision maker, so that it's more trustworthy and people see there are real people behind that brand. But in most cases, it definitely makes sense to also add that human component. Just don't overwhelm your about page with too many people and too much information. We do want it to be human, but we also want it to be clear and easy for retrieval at this point, because again, there will be more and more AI agents reading your about page instead of real people, and we want that those AI agents understand us and trust us enough to report back that experience to human beings. So with that, let's wrap up. Again, next week, I will have more information on what's going on in SEO. So please join us Wednesday, 1 p.m. EST, and also subscribe to my newsletter to have the link to join and reminder as well, so that we can all meet and discuss more topics next week. We will definitely come up with something again, not too overwhelming, but very useful. Most of my subscribers have that feedback, which is very nice, because that's exactly what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to avoid any flashy, complicated terms, make it much easier to understand, but also try to give you something to do with that information as well. So subscribe and smarty.com, and see you next week. I'm getting back to my vacation. Thank you so much, April. See you next week, everyone.